Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie and I'm back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video. And I got to thinking, Kabam really released a lot of great champions in 2019. I mean, when I was going over my ranking list, it was tough to come up with who was number one, also like who was in the top 10. That was pretty difficult. So it got me thinking, who would be good for 2020? Now, we know that Squirrel Girl and Nova are coming. It was kind of leaked that they are coming next month, so I am super pumped about that. So I decided to make a list of who I would like to see in 2020. Now, this list does not have any order to it. It's just kind of the champs that I want to see. Now, Squirrel Girl and Nova, they would have been on this list for sure, but since they're already coming, no need to put them on the list. So let's get things cracking with Kraven the Hunter. Now, I'm not the only one who wants to see this guy entered into the contest. Kraven the Hunter is a huge part of the Marvel universe, especially in the comics. I love this guy. He's a master tracker. I mean, he's super strong. He's got enhanced like hearing, smell, tracking, all kind of things. So he would be an awesome champ to add to the contest in 2020. And if I had my way, he would definitely be a skill champ. He's just super cool. I loved him in the comics. I know I'm not the only one. I see you, Meta. And the next one that I would love to see is Black Widow, Yelena Belova. Now, Black Widow, really, if you think about it, she's the only one out of the OG. So out of Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Captain America, who really haven't had some sort of other iteration, right? Thor's got one, Black Panther has one. So Black Widow doesn't really have one. Now, does that mean I want to see another Natasha? No, I would love to see Yelena Belova in here. She's great in the comics. She kicks major butt. And, with the new Black Widow movie coming out in 2020, with her being actually in that movie, I would love to see her added. I think she would be a great skill champ to add to the contest. Now, the next one, a big one. That's right, the Devourer of Worlds himself, Galactus. Now, we were kind of teased in the latest trailer that Marvel Contest of Champions put out. So is he coming? Is he not coming? I don't know. No one really knows. Will he be out this year? Will he be out in 2021? Who knows? But I would love to see Galactus. Let's face it, he's a huge villain in the comics. He's wrapped up in a lot. There's a lot of arcs with him in it. And with Silver Surfer being added and all the Fantastic Four members, it would make sense for Kabam to add Galactus to it. I know, I would be super pumped. I think everyone would probably lose their minds if Galactus was added. I mean, he's got some crazy abilities. I'm not going to go into all of them, but he would be a really cool champion to have. I mean, if you can do Dormammu, you can do Galactus. So please let Galactus come. He would be a cosmic champion for sure. Now, another champ that I would love to see is Kitty Pryde. She is one of my favorite X-Men. She can phase through walls, so she definitely could have like another ghost mechanic. I love this chick. She's super fun. She could have a great synergy with Colossus, especially since he got buffed. So I think she would just be a fun X-Men to have in the game. We do have a lot of X-Men, so there are certain ones who we'll talk about later that didn't quite make the cut, but I would love to see Kitty Pryde added. She's a super fun X-Men, or X-Woman, I should say. And the next champ on the list is Black Cat. Look, we need some more female characters from the Spider-Verse, and I love Black Cat. She's a huge portion of Peter Parker's life. I think she would be a great addition to it. She's got those feline abilities that just puts her over the top. She could be super fun to play, and if Kabam did her right, she could be a really OP science champ. Another one on the list, that's a big one, who I've actually had conversations with on streams before, is Beta Ray Bill. Now, this guy, he's so important in the comics, especially along the lines with Thor, and the Guardians. So he's just super cool. He's got Stormbreaker. I mean, we should definitely have him. I mean, Stormbreaker was just released in the movies, so I would love to see Beta Ray Bill added. He's one of my favorites. Maybe he's in the top 10, but I would love to see Beta Ray Bill added to the contest. Now, I feel like Beta Ray Bill would be a tech champ since he is a cyborg, but that's just my feelings. You might have different feelings about it. But I think Beta Ray Bill would be super cool. I mean, think of like the crazy stuff they could do with him, all of his mechanics that he could do, having Stormbreaker there with all of Stormbreaker's quote-unquote abilities that add to Beta Ray Bill. I think it would be epic. So next we're getting into some of my absolute favorite comics, and we're getting into Morbius, the Living Vampire. So as most of you know, I love a lot of stuff dealing with Morbius and Dracula and Blade. They were one of my top favorites along with, you know, the Daredevil, but Morbius is one of my favorites. He's the living vampire. I mean, he could have superhuman strength and speed, you know, stamina, reflexes. He can hypnotize weak-minded people. He's a huge kind of like foe to Spider-Man. So it would be really cool to have him added. He would definitely be a science champ since, you know, he kind of injected himself with the serum. So he would be so cool. And then he could have awesome synergies, you know, like alongside with Blade. So I would absolutely love to see Morbius. And I kind of teased the next one. Morbius added to the contest. And the next one, since I kind of teased it, is of course Dracula. Listen, Dracula's the OG vampire. He's one of my favorite comic book characters. I know a lot of you probably just think of like Bram Stoker when it comes to Dracula, but no, he is one of my absolute favorites. He could be like a great counter to Blade. He could, you know, kind of go up against Elsa. They could do so much with Dracula, with his regen. He could probably potentially have the most OP regen in the game if they could do it. But Kabam, please add Dracula and please make him a mystic since he got his powers from some gypsies. Okay, so I'm gonna calm down a little bit. And now let's move on to the next one on the list, which is Valkyrie. Now, Valkyrie, she's super cool, right? We saw how awesome she was in Thor Ragnarok, but in all actuality, Valkyrie, she is a badass chick. Like, she's also one of my favorites. I mean, she's super strong. She can just, like, she has resistance to injury. She could be almost like a scale above Angela, who I love, right? So we could have almost like an Angela 2.0 with her, but make her a little bit better than Angela, which I know says a lot because I love Angela. Her damage is OP, but I think Valkyrie would be so cool. You could make her like help put her a synergy where she helps heal people on her team. Like, it could be epic. And obviously she would be a cosmic champ. Now, the last one on the list that I would like to see added, who some of you may kind of be like, wait, what? is Dazzler. She is one of my favorite mutants along with Kitty Pryde, who I talked about earlier. But Dazzler's just so cool, right? She's like this punk singer, well, not really punk singer, but she's a singer and she can, you know, transduce sound into various forms of light, whether it be like blinding light or a photon blast, holograms. You know, she can make force fields, radiation blast. She can do all of this crazy stuff. And I think that could kind of put her along the lines of like Havoc level damage, which I think would be awesome. And of course, she would be a mutant. So I would love to see Dazzler added to the game. She's super cool. She could be so fun. So that is my top 10 that I would like to see entered into the contest in 2020. But I do have a couple of honorable mentions. And the first one is, of course, Lady Death. Now, I thought long and hard about this because I would love to see Lady Death added to the contest, but I don't exactly know how Kabam would be able to incorporate her abilities into the contest. I think it would be kind of a difficult mechanic to add into the game, so that's why she's an honorable, there we go, Katy, mention, although I would absolutely love to see her. She could go great with, you know, Deadpool. I think it would be she would be an awesome champ to be added to the game, but I don't necessarily know how Kabam would do it. And the next and final honorable mention is Jubilee. Now, Jubilee would be a really fun champ to be added to the game, but I've already added, you know, Kitty Pryde and Dazzler on my list, so I really didn't want to add on another X-Men or another mutant to my list, so That's why she just gets an honorable mention, but she is such a cool champ, or not champ, excuse me, character, that she could be fun to add to the game. She just didn't make my list for that reason. But that's it, guys. That's all that I got. Let me know in the comments below, who would you like to see added to the contest in 2020? Does your list match mine, or did I miss someone? I'm sure I did. Let me know in the comments below, and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw and you want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and hit me up in the Discord chat. Thanks, guys. Bye.